How's it going, everyone? My name is Nick, aka That Dude. On November 9th, 1993, 36 Chambers by Wu Tang Clan was released to the masses and changed the world. Led by their producer RZA, the group aimed to create a style that featured a gritty production and razor-sharp rapping. The album would go on to revitalize the East Coast hip-hop scene, because at the time West Coast hip-hop was pretty much dominant. The first song I discovered by Wu-Tang was Cream. It features a great sample from a song called As Long As I've Got You by the Charmels. With its subtle beat and hypnotic keyboard sample, the song creates this very reflective atmosphere that allows for Raekwon and Inspector Deck to rap about their individual struggles. I loved that song for many years without actually diving into more of their catalog. I don't remember the day, but one day I decided to listen to this entire album, 36 Chambers, and when I heard these songs, I'm just like, oh shit, Wu Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. They captured such a raw power on this album. Whether it's RZA's beats or the performances of each MC, their distinct style made them a force of nature in hip-hop. Their influence on the genre is still felt to this day. During the making of the album, each of the members were struggling as they were living in poverty and trying to make ends meet. They simply could not afford to have a very lush production for their record. But RZA decided to just use equipment that was easily accessible. This DIY production is what would contribute to the group's raw and gritty sound. Part of RZA's vision for the group was to include references to samurai films to match with the fierce intensity of their music. And as someone who doesn't really get into samurai films, that concept for a rap group is really badass. When you listen to a Wu-Tang song, you are convinced that each of the members will chop off your head. Then they'll reattach it and chop it off again. I think this album is genuinely a masterpiece and thoroughly enjoyable from track to track. There is not one song on here that is slipping by any means. Also, I don't want to downplay the rest of Wu-Tang's career. They still managed to put out albums that include tons of bangers. And let's not forget the solo projects from each of the members that are absolute fire, also produced by RZA. But none of the group's later albums have really reached the raw intensity of their debut, in my opinion. RZA is in my top 5 favorite producers in hip-hop. I mean, he is up there with Dr. Dre, DJ Premier, Kanye West, and Madlib. Dr. Dre was probably the biggest influence on RZA. If you listen to Dr. Dre's song Deep Cover, that is very much a proto-Wu-Tang beat. After the success of 36 Chambers, the group had a lot more money to make their music sound better. The beats became a lot more smooth, but still had some rough edges to them. The minimal and hard-hitting production on this album had a massive effect on the rap industry. It helped to move us out of the funk-based instrumentals prevalent in the golden age. It also led the way for other East Coast rappers that would come up later on, including Nas, Biggie Smalls, and MF Doom. These artists would only expand on the ideas that Wu-Tang presented in '93. As I said before, Wu-Tang's influence is still felt to this day. One of my favorite modern rappers, Khan, stated that his music is influenced by them. Trap music is pretty much the result of Wu-Tang's influence as well, with its use of a dark and minimal sound. If you have not listened to Wu-Tang, I'd highly recommend that you check them out, especially if you like more aggressive styles of rap. One day, Wu Tang Clan will be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame just because of their debut album and its impact. Even Eminem mentioned Wu Tang Clan among many others while he was giving his induction speech. This album will be a classic forever. There is a lot of songs on here that are just iconic to me, including 7th Chamber, Bring the Ruckus, Mystery of Chess Boxing, Method Man, Protect Your Neck. I will always admire this group, and especially RZA, for using such minimal resources to create something grand and huge. The DIY production should really serve as an inspiration to anyone out there who's looking to create and release something. Well, that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you all for watching this video. Be sure to drop a like and a comment down below. It would really help out a lot. Subscribe if you're interested in more content. Thank you all again for watching. Be sure to tune in for the next video.